Today on CityCast Austin, it's the Friday News Roundup. The week is finally over, and we're here to talk about all of the things that happened in the city, like the latest development in the yogurt shop murders case, a data center that is not coming to town, and the Olympic gold medal winner who lives just down I-35. It's Friday, February 20th. I'm Nikki Devon, and this is what Austin's talking about. Hello, I'm here with the amazing Kelsey Bradshaw, our newsletter editor. What is up, Kelsey?
Hello, happy Friday.
Friday. And we're here with the amazing Eva Ruth Moravec, our executive producer. What's up, Eva Ruth?
Hi, happy Friday. Hey.
It is finally Friday. So there was a huge development in the yogurt shop murders case this week. So less than a year after Austin Police Department announced that they knew who killed 4 girls in an Austin yogurt shop in 1991. So let's not forget this happened in 1991. And then last year, finally, we know who did it. The names of the men who had been wrongly accused back in 1991 are now exonerated. So Eva Ruth, you bring us up to speed on how this all went down.
Yes. So this hearing, there was a big hearing on yesterday, to clear these men, finally, to exonerate them and clear their names. They did not kill these 4 girls in the yogurt shop. So the murders happened in 91, like you said, but in 1999, they were still unsolved, and that's when Austin police created this yogurt shop task force to really try and figure out who killed these 4 girls. Their names were Jennifer Harbison, she was 17, her 15-year-old sister Sarah, 17-year-old Eliza Thomas, and 13-year-old Amy Ayers were the 4 victims who were basically closing up a shop when they were killed and the store was set on fire. And this task force interrogated these 4 guys. Their attorneys still call them boys because they were teenagers also when these crimes happened. They were slightly older when they were interrogated in 99. And at that point, 2 of the guys, Robert Springsteen and Michael Scott, basically implicated each other. We now know that the way that these confessions happened were just it's so terrible. It was bad policing. What we consider it now, they were coerced and they were basically fed lines about what they did, and told you don't remember what happened because it was so traumatic. You blacked it out. So this is what happened. And that's what and then they're like, yep, that's what happened. It was just a different time in policing where this kind of thing happened, I think, a lot more frequently, I hope, than it does now.
Well, wasn't the detective who, I don't remember his name, but wasn't one of the detectives taken off of the case because he was coercing confessions out of people?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
It wasn't okay at the time either. I think that's
important.
It wasn't
okay.
Yeah.
That's true. But still, I think everyone was so hungry for a conclusion that they're just yep, this was it. And so Springsteen and Michael Scott, so there were 2 other guys that were kind of caught up in this story with those 2 guys. It was Forrest Wellborn and Maurice Pierce. They did not confess, but Springsteen and Scott were put on trial. There was no evidence. Scott got life without parole. Springsteen got the death penalty. And then the other 2, Wellborn was no billed and Pierce's charges were dropped. Then almost 10 years later, they were actually cleared by DNA of the crime. In 2009, Michael Scott and Robert Springsteen were released from prison. They'd both spent 9 to 10 years in prison. For Springsteen on death row, that means you're isolated from people almost all day, every day, 23 hours.
He was on death row. They could have killed this innocent man.
Yeah. That's the part that I'm just unforgivable. I'm sorry. Unforgivable.
Not only did you wrongly put these men in prison and they were likely in solitary confinement the whole time, which is evil and awful in itself for anyone, but he could have been killed?
He could have been killed. And Michael Scott, he was in administrative segregation for a long time, which means isolation also, lockdown. And, gosh, his lawyer describing his conditions and like the being chained, and it's just like they never did anything. There's also Maurice Pierce and Forrest Wellborn, who, while they didn't spend time in prison, they still just always had this hanging over their heads.
I'm Sharon Shipman. Forrest Wellborn is my youngest son.
Wellborn's mother spoke at the hearing yesterday.
Over many years, detectives subjected Forrest and his family to pressure, insisting we say that he confessed and that he was involved. It was heartbreaking, frustrating, and downright scary to see Forrest suffer for the rest of childhood and his entire adult life. I could feel his anxiety, depression, stress, and anger, and it was hard for him to trust anyone. These emotions trickled down to all his relationships throughout these 34 years, affecting every aspect of his life. He constantly had strangers approach him about the case, most often unpleasant encounters. He also lost relationships and friendships over the years. The knowledge that much of the public and even some extended family and friends believed the story that he was involved weighed heavy on all of us.
So that was Wellborn. Pierce died by suicide in a confrontation with police in 2010. Before last year, prosecutors at times in this long journey were like doubling down on their belief that these men were responsible. I think, again, because people just really wanted an answer. And then last year, there was the DNA determination that it was this guy, Robert Brashers. I've heard his name both ways. And so this exoneration is like the next step. Now that you know who did it, okay, let's go about fixing this wrong. So in the hearing on Thursday, there were a lot of attorneys, of course, the state prosecutor, attorneys for the men as well. There were some witnesses, including Police Chief Lisa Davis and the detective Daniel Jackson, who did all of the work, like the more recent work and actually finding the DNA and tying everything together. The first assistant district attorney, Judy Strasburger, said, quote, "The state did all this believing we were right, but we could not have been more wrong." So like they're not even trying to defend what they did anymore. She mentioned that they had over 50 false confessions at the time for the yogurt shop murder. So like wading through those was hard, but also they were kind of hungry for this answer, which another attorney, Amber Farley, she represents Springsteen. She talked about the false confessions and how concerning that was. And she did mention, Kelsey, like you were saying, let us not forget that he could be dead right now, executed by the hands of the state of Texas. And like the only reason that didn't happen, it's a miracle is what she called it. And, should be something that everybody is concerned about, like what is the pressure even today on law enforcement to solve a crime versus follow the evidence and, figure it out, like avoid that pressure from the public of like, this is unsafe, everybody's freaking out. And I'm sure we'll hear more as the days go by about these men and how their lives have been affected. And also hopefully maybe not, like maybe they can just live their lives quietly now, however they want to. But Tony Plohetsky with the Austin American-Statesman has done some reporting on that. Like Wellborn said at the time of his arrest in 1999, he was operating a mechanic's shop that he thinks would be thriving today. Last year, he purchased Manchac Springs Saloon. Springsteen and Scott have really been through hell. They will be eligible for compensation now, as they absolutely should, through Texas Tim Cole Act, which gives them, I think, $80,000 per year of wrongful imprisonment plus $25,000. And then they also can get time for or get compensated for parole. So it's not, I know that they're not out for money.
They should be getting $1 million a year.
Right.
I mean, it's not enough. It's not enough.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it should be $1 billion.
Listen,
Yeah.
I know that the people that are making it right now had nothing to do with what happened back then, but goddamn, that don't matter. It feels like it feels like, okay, yes, being exonerated is huge. That's a big, big deal. I'm so happy for them. Like, it is literally the least we can do. I'm talking like just the mental anguish alone. They should not have to ever worry about mental health care. They should not have to, and that should be on Texas's dime, period. Like, those men should
Agreed.
not, you know what I'm saying? It's like, let's be real. People are accused and also, put in jail for crimes that they did not commit all the time. They've been doing it to Black people for years. So, like, across the board, things are wrong. But this is so egregious. It's like when we look back at what happened, they just failed over and over and over again. And it feels like they just needed a win.
They needed an answer.
And these men had to pay for it.
Yeah.
This has completely changed the trajectory of their lives. You can't tell me it hasn't.
And Nikki, to your point about like Black men getting wrongfully convicted all the time, this was around the same time as the Central Park Five. They were 5 boys in Central Park who were, accused of like all kinds of crimes there and locked up. Donald Trump took out a full-page ad calling for them back. This was in the 90s, back, for them to be like locked up and held accountable. I mean, I think at that time, crime was just like this crazy, fearful, like cinematic almost thing that people were just, I don't know. I don't know if we've changed though. I don't know if like because now we also have all this evidence. People want the evidence. Like we all expect everything to be like CSI, like you should be able to solve everything all the time. I don't know if there's more or less pressure now to solve things, but hopefully there's more awareness of like what could go wrong. Yeah.
I feel for them, but I'm glad that they're getting some sort of justice. I'm glad they're getting something. I don't know if I could call it justice, but I'm glad they're getting something.
I think it's justice. I mean, and also for the families of the girls, like,
I think finding the real killers is justice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Especially for the family. But it feels like nothing could, like, what's your freedom worth? What's your freedom worth? Like, like there's no price. Hopefully the ones that are left have a wonderful, full life ahead of them and they can finally put this behind them and they don't have to worry about this shit anymore.
And thank God for science.
And thank God for science.
New DNA technology helped find the real killer, and I have a lot of faith in science.
I have been living in a pair of hard pants lately. But y'all, these are not like other hard pants. These are Doer jeans. My Doer jeans are super comfortable because these Doer clothes are made for us to move freely without sacrificing comfort or style. Could they be more like Austin? Honestly, I got a pair in black, and the fabric is so high quality that even after many, many washes, they still look and feel great. But they're also really versatile. They're stretchy enough to wear while I'm driving around town running my errands, and they look nice enough to keep on for any fancy dinners that might come your way. Plus, Doer uses this Cool Max fiber fabric that helps regulate your temperature, which is essential for me in this up and down spring weather. I know you're going to love Doer as much as I do, and it's time that you get your own pair. So check out shopdoer.com/CCAustin and you'll get 15% off your first order. That's shopdoer.com/CCAustin.
I hear there's some of you that are still on the fence about Window Nation and might need a little more convincing on why now is a great time to replace your windows. So here are a few more stats for you. Window Nation has installed over 3 million windows across the country. They give a 50-point inspection of every window before it leaves the factory and then a 20-point inspection of every window when it's installed. They're a proud partner of Austin FC, so when you check them out, ask how you could score an Austin FC Heartbeat Kit, game day tickets, or VIP experience. Plus, the installation crew leaders on average have over a decade of experience, so you can trust Window Nation to install your windows right the first time. This sweet spot of Austin weather is the perfect time to prepare your home for that summer heat that's coming. And you're in luck because that Window Nation buy four, get four windows free sale and the extra 10% off for Valentine's Day is still going on. So schedule a fast free estimate now at windownation.com. We're living in the age of artificial intelligence. And powering that boom is a rapidly expanding network of data centers. And right now, Texas is on track to become the next data center capital of the world because, why not? There's not enough wrong with us already, but okay. But residents in our area are trying their best to make sure that that title doesn't come without a fight. So on Wednesday morning at 2 a.m., San Marcos City Council voted 5-2 to deny a request for land use change that would have cleared the way for a data center to be built. The city council meeting was set to begin at 6 p.m., but already by 3 p.m., demonstrators were gathered outside to protest the data center. 125 people signed up to speak during the citizen comment section, and 57 signed up to talk during the public hearing portion. And so here's the thing, data centers are known to require huge amounts of water and energy. And residents all over Texas are concerned about how much energy and water these data centers eat up as extreme droughts persist and Texas's water supply remains critically low. According to a Washington Post investigation, a 100-word email generated by an AI chatbot required roughly 1 bottle of water. So supporters of the center included union construction workers who would have been employed to build the project. Outside of the construction, it's unknown how many jobs the center would have brought to the area. San Marcos City Council's denial comes a week after Round Rock City Council approved a rezone of land for a proposed data center after public outcry and protests. So even though people didn't want it, Round Rock approved it. In the last Texas legislative session, lawmakers passed Senate Bill 6, establishing requirements for companies that consume large amounts of electricity to run. It also allows the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, or as we all know them as ERCOT, it's like Epcot's, worst, terrible
evil
sister.
twin.
Anyways, evil twin, yeah. So it allows ERCOT to oversee energy transactions between power generators and large consumers like data centers that didn't ordinarily involve the state's grid. It also has the authority to cut their power and redistribute it during an emergency. So I guess that's supposed to be some sort of, that's supposed to make us feel better.
Reassurance.
Hey, we'll cut it off. Whatever. Right now, North Virginia is considered the largest data market in the world, but according to new research from Jones Lang LaSalle, Texas is on course to unseat that title by 2030.
Cool. Way to go, Texas.
Literally, this makes me sick to my stomach.
It makes me sick to my stomach.
I think AI is really bad.
I saw a video the other day on the interwebs. Because you're seeing it all over the place. But I saw it on the internet the other day, and this woman, her house is 400 yards from a data center, and she went to turn her water on, and it was like a trickle. It was like she's like, "This is my water pressure now." Period. This is my water pressure, and I've been calling. They say I can't do anything about it.
Well, and it's something too where I can totally see people being like, "Well, data centers create jobs. Like this would have brought in these construction jobs to San Marcos." And not to sound like an alarmist conspiracy theory person, but there's not going to be a San Marcos to work in after a while. There's not going to be water. And I'm so proud of San Marcos City Council, and I'm so proud of all the San Martians who got out to speak during public comment section. I've been seeing stuff on social media all week of people protesting throughout the city, and something that would take water away from San Marcos is the antithesis of that town. That town, its heart and everything about it is based on the San Marcos River. And what would it be without the river? It's such a large part of our identity in Central Texas, whether that's Round Rock, Austin, San Marcos, New Braunfels, wherever you are. Nature is such a large part of the identity of living here and being an Austinite or being a San Martian or whatever you are, that it just makes me ill that It feels like I missed something. Like it feels like we went from not having AI to now everyone has this extra step in their brain where they're like, oh, wait, I need to look this up on ChatGPT. And I'm like, how did we get here so quickly? And how are we
Listen.
moving our entire everything around to be beholden to, bow down to a data center?
I understand that this is where we're going. We can't fight, right?
Mhm.
Right. So it's like we are in the age of AI. There's not a whole lot that we can do about that at this point. But I also think that, like, why is there this move towards not using your brain? Why is there this move like, is it too hard to come up with a sentence? How do we go from like going to the library, looking things up, how do we go from that to being like, no, this thing is just going to tell me what I think. It's going to tell me what I think. It's going to tell me what I want to say. Why don't you want to have your own autonomy with the way, what you think and how you feel?
Well, and I want to push back on something you said just a tiny bit.
Yes, do.
When you said there's not much we can do about it. I agree. There's not, like, it's a powerful force. But look at these 125 people who signed
That's
up
true.
to speak during the citizen comment section. Look at these demonstrators that were there 3 hours early. I wonder what the vote would have been if they were not there.
I think that AI is a part of our lives at this point, period. But I think you're right, Kelsey. I think that we do have a voice in how it's a part of our lives and what we have control over how much of our lives it takes away from us, what we can control, what it takes.
And it's not part of my life. If you receive an email from me, that was written by me and my brain.
The scary thing, I think, is like just the speed of how fast this technology is changing and how reliant everything has become on it. Like, I don't think that it's just being used in like these novel ways anymore, to like write funny songs or make whatever. Like it does seem way more essential for different kinds of jobs. Like I've been hearing, here in Austin, we have so much tech, so many tech workers. And I have some friends who are like software developers who have said like AI writes code better than any human can ever write code,
Right.
to the point where the recent versions, like the new versions of like ChatGPT, those sorts of programs are writing themselves and are like making themselves better. So like it's already happening in the computer science industry, which is crazy to me to think that like those jobs actually are being done by computer, and I think that like it's starting to seep into every kind of job, like, or profession. In lawyering, there's been some stuff about journalism, stories being written by AI. We have, so I feel like it makes me anxious, the speed that it's changing and getting so fast and so big. And we're like clearing all this red tape to let them build more and more data centers and all of that. And I do see this as like a good speed bump in that situation. But like it's happening and we need to figure out what we want out of it.
I don't think it should be part of any creative industry. It absolutely should not be part of journalism. You will have to pry my computer from my cold, dead hands before I let AI write anything that I write. Like,
there are all these AI singers now and song that are creating music. And I'm just over here in my slightly boomerish attitude. Like, have none of y'all seen Terminator or iRobot? Has nobody seen the takeover of the machines? Nobody has seen it. It's just going to get smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter until we are not useful.
Right. And then also, has no one seen Idiocracy? Like, what happens to us when we're no longer...
We stop using our brains?
Using our brains and we're just drinking Brando and...
I have a friend that uses ChatGPT, AI in some sort of way. And they had him read a thing, like just read a paragraph or something. And now from that paragraph he has read, they have his voice and they can have him say whatever they want to say. And so he has them do like like online, like Zoom meetings and presentations and all kinds of other things. And it is his voice. And I am sorry, AI cannot have my damn voice. For me, that's too much. I don't like regular ass people having control over me. I don't like it. I don't like to be controlled. I have a problem with authority. Why in the hell would I give someone way smarter than me just unfettered access to my brain and my voice?
Listen, you and Matthew McConaughey, he copyrighted, I think, like all right, and things like that so that AI couldn't use it.
Good for him.
Like, what are we doing?
Good for him. Good for him.
Crazy.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It is a national story. This isn't just a Texas story. And we do have this new CityCast podcast called Your City Could Be Better. It's coming out, this week's is coming out on Sunday, and it's about the expansion of data centers across the country. So you can hear about how they're handling this in Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah. Keep your eye on it.
Hey y'all, it's Eva Ruth. I don't know about you, but I feel like this time of year in Austin, the one thing that is consistent is that the weather is constantly changing. Our mornings can be really chilly, so you gotta have your layers, but by the afternoon, you're burning up and peeling these layers off. So the one thing that I'm reaching for constantly is my Doer Shacket. That's right, a shirt jacket. It's a perfect neutral color, and it's made from this super high quality fabric that is so comfortable and cozy. And their clothing is really versatile. You can wear this jacket dressed up, dressed down, dressed all around. Doer's denim and lifestyle apparel is made for us to move freely without sacrificing comfort or style. And that sounds perfect for us Austinites. So if you don't have your own Doers yet, now is the time to check them out. Go to shopdoer.com/CC Austin and you'll get 15% off of your first order. That's shopdoer.com/CC Austin.
And now for something totally different and way more fun. I got to get out. I'm getting too heated. Talking about AI. It's too much. So a mom from New Braunfels won big on Monday at the Milan Cortina Winter Olympics. Alana Myers-Taylor snagged a gold medal in the women's monobob. Kelsey,
Woo-hoo!
First of all, what is a monobob? What's going on?
Okay, so first of all, this is our own version of Cool Runnings because, where does one train for bobsledding in Central Texas?
Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme.
So the monobob, which is so great name, it's the individual version of bobsledding. So it's you and your bob, and you push and pilot your sled by yourself, which seems even, I don't know, bobsledding freaks me out. It looks so scary. And I wonder if doing it by yourself is scarier than doing it with other people. Anyway, so Myers-Taylor, she's 41 years old. She finished with a combined time of 3 minutes, 57.93 seconds, which is just 0.04 of a second ahead of Germany.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Everything about the Olympics is crazy.
How do you even know that? How is that meant?
Yes.
Crazy.
Yes. And this was her 5th Olympics and her 6th career medal, tying her for the most by any U.S. woman in Winter Olympics history. That's crazy.
Just like a bad bitch. I love this. I'm sorry. I love this.
So she says, after winning, she says, I represent more than just myself now. I represent my kids, but I also represent a lot of moms back home. And then she says, in 6 days, I've got school pickup and drop-offs in the middle of Texas. None of this stuff. I can't wear any of it when I go home.
Who wants all this gear?
That's so funny. And that's something I always forget about Olympians is so many of them are just not everyone becomes a big celebrity. So many of them just go back to their regular, boring lives.
She's like, I won this gold medal. Now I got to go get these kids. I got to go take care of these kids at home. Who wants all this winter shit? Because I can't do nothing with it in Texas.
Can y'all take me home?
I live for this. Y'all, one of my favorite things about moms a lot of moms. I'm not going to overgeneralize. But most of the moms I know, mom just trumps everything. It's almost like no matter what other thing they do, at the end of the day, there's like this kid that's like, Mom, do you have my clothes for soccer practice? It's just like,
Right.
Mom. And that even includes an Olympic gold medalist.
She's like doing laundry with her gold medal.
I gotta drop these kids off, though.
She's like, BRB, I gotta go to the Olympics real quick, but I'll be back. Like, that's crazy.
Love it.
And it's so crazy. I just love, I can't even speak. I love that this is out of New Braunfels. Like,
Love it.
I have so many questions for her. We need to get her on the podcast. Where does she train?
Also, she's 41, bro. Like,
Yes.
Right.
I just sounded like a Gen Z, but like she's 41. Do you know what I was not doing at 41? Pushing a bobsled.
Mono bobbing.
I was not winning gold medals at 41. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
like
amazing.
New Braunfels is the capital of tubing. I think I made that up, but it is. But like, that's where you go to tube. Is she mono bobbing on the Comal River? No, you can't do
She's
that.
going down the slides of Schlitterbahn. She is Schlitter coasting it.
I love
so
this.
funny. It's so cool runnings. It
is so cool runnings. But even better, like, so she has these two boys who are pretty young, and both of them are deaf. And so she and her husband like learned American Sign Language to communicate with them. And the like excitement on the Facebook page for New Braunfels ASL community is so cute. And they're also
Love that.
wait, hold on. She's from here? What are you talking about? That's crazy. So
I love that.
I think that she's kind of known as an advocate for, ASL, and one of her sons has Down syndrome, and she serves as an international spokesperson for the Global Down Syndrome Foundation, and she's a board member for USA Bobsled /Skeleton and a former president of the Women's Sports Foundation.
Shout out to this mama. Like, this is, I don't know, this made me feel really good. Give her all the applause. Yes.
There we go. Let's have a parade for Alana.
I need her on the pod. I have about 50 questions.
You know what I'm so curious about? To your point, Kelsey, it's like you do this incredible thing, and then it's like you just have to shift back into your regular ass life. And I'm so curious what that is like, what that feels like.
I can't imagine.
It's like, do you know your mother is an Olympic gold medalist? You better go clean your room. I win medals. Like, do you know how many times I would throw that out at my kids?
Yes. I'd be like, you take the trash out. I have a gold medal. I would throw it at my husband as well.
I'm recovering. Do y'all know how much I have leaned on my medal from my half marathon finish?
There you go.
I am ready for a parade around my house. I had a whole day to think about that, before I had to go back to work. I can't imagine the ups and downs.
Where are you getting all these hours in the day, girl? Like, yes. Anyways, congratulations.
She's working Beyonce hours.
Listen, you know what she's doing? Way more than I can get done in a day. Speaking of which, maybe we should just move right along to what we can do. And that's our plans for the weekend.
Yes. Okay. So this weekend is Spurs. It's been Spurs week, but the Spurs are playing in Austin tomorrow. It's part of the I-35 series. Like in recent years, I think everyone's trying to make it to where the Spurs are also Austin's team. And that's fine by me because I lived in San Antonio for 2 years and I've made it about 30% of my personality despite having been there for 1 second. But the Spurs are going to play at the Moody Center tomorrow night at 7. They're going to play the Sacramento Kings. Tickets are still available, and I think I'm going to just get some nosebleeds and try and go. They played the Suns last night.
They're so good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Wemby is going to be here. Like, that's
Wemby's
crazy.
insane. Yeah. I think they do this as part of because the San Antonio rodeo stock show and rodeo takes over where they play in San Antonio.
Oh.
So they used to call it their rodeo road trip. But I do agree that we want them to be Austinites.
Yes. Yes.
fully.
Yes.
And any chance, they're really good this year. I mean, they're always really good in my
Yeah,
opinion,
they're
but
always really good.
they're so fun to watch.
Well, and there's lots of like different little events going on. If you just Google Spurs Week, you can find all of them. But like on Saturday, there's going to be some sort of mural activation, something or other happening at Wonderlust downtown.
Ooh.
So I wonder what's happening there. But yeah,
Maybe
they're
they're
just gonna
painting
have,
like Wimby's hands.
Yeah.
Like just doing the outline of his hands, you know?
yeah.
So you can see how yours compares.
just his legs.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
But I just love it so much. So
Eva Ruth, what you doing?
Well, this weekend is a national holiday that everyone should be celebrating. Sunday is National Margarita Day. And here in Austin, Nikki's favorite restaurant, De Nada Cantina, is opening a new location. That's a joke. You should listen to our episode on restaurants from earlier this week if you didn't get that
joke.
That's a joke. Yeah, but they are well known for their pink cups with margaritas inside of them, and we do have an episode on where you can find the best margaritas in town. So lots of options. I don't know if either of y'all, and it's pretty warm. It's like, I don't know, the weather right now feels just fine for a margarita in my opinion. So
yeah, we're gonna be in the 80s.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, okay. So here are my recommendations for this weekend. So I am currently in Chicago, and I want to first of all give a shout out to CityCast Chicago, because I did use their events list to find stuff to do, and it is awesome. Yeah. But now back to us. Things that I'm recommending for for this week. So tonight or today starts Super Fair Austin. Super Fair Austin is happening the entire weekend. And it is going to be a fair market. And the whole idea is that it's a way for you to buy local art. So it's connecting you directly with independent artists selling original work. So you don't have to go to a gallery. There's no confusing like art jargon. Many of the pieces, if not most of the pieces, start at $100. So you ain't got to have all this money to buy original art. They set it up like a gallery, and you can go through and choose original art from people in Austin, from artists. And so it's happening from now through Sunday. It's at Fair Market, and you can just go buy some original art. Easy peasy if you're an art lover. It sounds cute. It looks cute. And you can meet the artists too, which I always really love. I like to know the artists behind anything. I feel like it makes it a little more personal. So yeah. So there's that. And then this other thing that I'm like really freaking curious about. So Michael Shannon, I don't know do you guys know who Michael Shannon is? He's an actor. He's been in so many things.
Knives Out, The Shape of Water, Man of Steel.
Yeah. So he's one of my favorite actors. So him and I guess his buddy, his homeboy, Jason Narducci, they have started a band covering REM songs. So they just do REM songs, and they're going to be
again.
Yes, they're going to be at Emo's tomorrow night, starting at 7, doing REM.
That's me in the corner.
Yeah,
that's me in the spotlight.
So listen,
oh my God.
They are launching a U.S. tour celebrating the 40th anniversary of REM's iconic album, Life's Rich Pageant. And so they've been going around and doing covers of REM. And then every now and then, members of the original REM will just join them on stage to do shows. They did it. It happened in Georgia. It's happened in Brooklyn. So it's like they're on tour, but they're going to be in Austin on Saturday. So, if you like REM, you should go check it out, because it's getting crazy good reviews. Like that, like people are saying that they are what's it called when you
experiencing?
Reinvigorating.
Re-falling in love with?
Yeah, they're causing people to re-fall in love with REM. They evidently are very, very good. And something that I think is even more interesting is Bobcat Goldthwait is involved in it too. I can't tell how he's involved, but evidently he's part of the friends that are going to be playing REM too. So, if that's your lore, and it's totally my lore. That's going to be happening at Emo's tomorrow night. So those are some of the things that I recommend. If you want more of my recommendations, I'm going to be putting out a little, Nikki's picks on our social media. So check out our Instagram, and I'll give you a whole bunch of other picks on our Instagram. And as always, we have a whole ass events calendar in our newsletter. So we keep y'all up to speed.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
Damn.
lots of stuff. So, all right. Well, that's it, y'all. Before we leave, hey, guys, listen, we just had a very, very cute membership event. I don't know if you heard about it. It was trivia. It was at Stargazer. We had a lot of fun. Shout out to all of our members that showed up. Y'all know y'all are my sweet little babies. I can't stop talking about it. We had so much fun. And we're going to keep doing stuff like this throughout the year for our neighbors. And so if you want in on this party train, and you know you do, you want in on this party train of trivia.
Choo choo!
If you want in on this party train, check out our membership program. Like, become a CityCast Austin neighbor. It's fun. You get swag. We do cool stuff. We got stuff coming up. Go to membership.citycast.fm and find out how you can become a neighbor today. Thank you so much for rounding out the news with me this week. You guys are amazing. It's always a treat. Until next time, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
That's all for today here on CityCast Austin. Our executive producer is Eva Ruth Norvek. Our producers this week are Adrian Gonzalez and Alyssa Castles, and I am your host, Nikki Devon. Our CityCast Austin newsletter editor is Kelsey Bradshaw, and music is by Nelson Villante Aguilar of Como Las Movies, with additional music by All the Kimonos and Margareta and Elliot Holmes, courtesy of EpidemicSound.com, and Tim James from Triple Scoop Music via Getty Images. If you enjoyed the show, tell your friends, rate the show, leave us a review, and as always, subscribe to our CityCast Austin newsletter. We'll be back Monday morning with more news from around the city. Bye, y'all.